deliver his welcome address. Over to you, sir.
Good morning. Good morning, all of you, the resource persons and the participant and the committee members. We welcome to you all today's session of opportunities and facilities available for the research and development at the Faculty of Engineering, University of Jaffna, conducted by the IESL Vadakin chapter. Actually, this is an opportunity for our members as well as the region to develop our nation and study and do their career development. So without wasting time, we welcome you all, Prabhakaran, Dean Engineering, and Professor Adbudaraja, Professor Kannadasan, Dr. K Edison, Dr. Nisandan, Dr. Thiruvaran, Engineer Vignaraja, Dr. K Kaneswaran, and Dr. Kadir Ramanathan. So we can start the session. Over to you, Vinodini.
Thank you, sir. Our first speaker for this session, Dr. K. Prabhakaran. Dr. K. Prabhakaran has joined the Department of Electrical and Electronic Engineering, University of Jaffna, as a senior lecturer, moving from the College of Engineering, IESL. He was appointed as the Dean, Faculty of Engineering at the University of Jaffna on June 2021. Prior to that, he was a professor of Electrical and Communication Engineering at University of Technology, Papua New Guinea. He was also a senior lecturer at Taylor's University in Malaysia and the University of Ruknu in Sri Lanka. Over to you, sir.
I just wanted to share some slides. So can you just share the to me? So it will be easy. Can you share the? So I can.
Yes, sir. Now you can.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. I would like to thank Engineer V. Jagannathan, Chairman Vadakin Chapter, for arranging this kind of function so that we can, the Faculty of Engineering, have the opportunity to brief our activities as well as our future plan to the engineering community. So, first of all, I just wanted to say about, just to share some thoughts about our faculty. So what we can do, so that is the first question. So what we can do for the society, it is we can produce skillful undergraduates. Also, we are offering the we are presently offering the postgraduate program in only MPhil and PhD. But in the future, we are planning to offer the postgraduate program in Master of Science in Engineering. So that it will be a taught course-based, project-based, taught course and project-based coursework plus project-based master's program. So that in the future, we can give the opportunity for the engineers, those who are working in the industry, to do their masters. So that is a future plan we are going to have. And also, some of our staff members, even some group of the staff members, even departments, they have a they are doing the joint research work with the industries, with the industries as well as the foreign research agencies, with a very big funding, so that not only our staff members, also the young undergraduate community, student community also will be get benefited out of this research activities. Also, we can do the expert training for the local industry employees, for the technical level employees, if they need to get some technical expertise training. Our faculty is willing to do that one for the local industry. If any, in the future, if the request is given to us, then we can make arrangement for that one. Also, we are doing the outreach activities to the local society, especially our outreach activities are the development of Kilnachi premises and Kilnachi area, as well as social activities, teaching in the schools and all that kind of outreach activities. Also, we are presently taking part in this Kilnachi area. So these are our what we can do for the society. Again, our strength. What is our strength? So do this one. We have to take discuss about our strength. So I just want to tell about our strength. It is a fully fledged engineering faculty with 4 departments. Even though it was started in 2013, now we are fully fledged. So therefore, we are par with other engineering faculties, those who were established long ago. Then 3 of our programs fully recognized by IESL, and one of the
excuse me, Dr. Prabhakaran, can you unmute your mic? Mistakenly, I mute it. Excuse me, sir.
Okay, it's okay. Now I did. Okay, thank you.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
So 3 programs fully recognized by IESL, and 1 program got the conditional recognition, and the full recognition process is going on. So we will get that one. So therefore, all 4 programs are recognized by IESL, and we are going for IESL accreditation for the other 2 of the program in the near future. So laboratory facilities also with the sophisticated equipment we have. So we have spend a huge amount of money on acquiring all this equipment. So we have 68 approved academic cadre members for the faculty, and 45 positions already filled. So out of this 45 positions, some of the probationary lecturers, those who are doing their higher studies in the reputed universities throughout the world. So they have gone to many parts of the country for completing their PhD program. So the PhD or the equivalent research program required for their confirmation. And presently we have senior lecturer and above staff, some 11 staff members from civil and environmental engineering, and 5 staff members from electrical and electronic engineering. Mechanical and process engineering we have 2, and computer engineering again we have 2. So therefore we have even altogether we have more than around 20 staff members in the category of senior lecturer 2 and above. So this is our staff strength, and we have still we have a vacant cadre for skillful staff members. So therefore we will once we are able to fill all the cadres, we will be in the full strength. So therefore doing research or anything with the outside community and training for postgraduate level programs will not be an issue in the future. So next one is our activities. So what we are doing is presently we are doing the teaching undergraduate level as well as provision of research in the postgraduate level. We have signed several MOUs for research collaboration activities. Some of the collaboration activities by individual staff members, some of them are from the group of staff members, some of them the university and university level. So we have several MOUs. So those MOUs enable us to get money and other facilities so that we can upgrade our research in the future. Also, we have an incubation center. So this incubation center have several activities. Even recently, even this the Kilnoch area, there's a vehicle with a solar powered vehicle, 3-wheeler or something. Even there's a contribution from our incubation center towards that work. Also, we have a prosthetics lab activities. We have established a prosthetics lab. So the activities is going on. We have a 3D printer for that one as well.
Yes.
Finally, our consultative activities of individual staff or group of staff members also taking part. So therefore, we have done our activities not only with the teaching, not limited to the teaching or learning. So our activities also establishing different forum with the society as well as training in a postgraduate level research consultancy. So therefore, what we can say about at this last moment that all these activities and all this our strength, we need to have a collaborations so that we can upgrade our research, we can upgrade our infrastructure. So therefore, this IESL cooperation, what we are going to do, the IESL cooperation in the, especially in the Vadakin chapter, will help us to find out more places, like in identifying requirement and identifying the infrastructure facilities for develop our faculty. At the same time, IESL Vadakin chapter also, we can contribute them by help in hand with their activities, especially finding the industrial training and industrial related projects and all. We are really asking the support of the IESL Vadakin chapter. So this is the introduction, but every department, they will present their work in detail, what are the research and what are the activities in detail, but it's a general picture only I have given here. So thank you very much for the giving this opportunity, so that it will give us a chance to brief our activities to the engineering community, especially those engineers are in those who are in north part of the Sri Lanka. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Our next speaker, Dr. T. Thiruvaran, Head of Department of Electrical and Electronic Engineering, Faculty of Engineering, University of Jaffna. He had received a BSc Engineering degree with first class honors from University of Peradeniya and PhD from University of New South Wales. His PhD research was on automatic speak recognition using face-based features. Then he has extended his research to power signal analysis, in particular automatic direction of electric load using switching current transient signal by applying digital signal processing and pattern recognition techniques. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, hello, good morning. So can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So
can you put your slides in slide view? Yeah.
Right, yeah. Yeah, so this is about the opportunities for postgraduate research at the Department of Electrical and Electronic Engineering. So this brief talk will have this overview. So first I will say about what are the MOUs and collaborative agreements we have, and then I will list the staff profile, because it's mainly on the staff. Then the selected postgraduate research facilities, and then for foreign professors we had contact. So we have a few MOUs and collaborative agreements with some industries. So the first one is Kalani Cables, that we have an MOU, and that is to conduct electrical wiring course to practicing electrician. So Kalani Cable sponsor the course fee. So we conduct wiring course for practicing electricians. So that's for the first MOU. And then the second one, MOU with Swiss Rank. So it is to develop an VLSI lab at the department, and then to, because they work on the VLSI related activities. So then to share technical knowledge and resources in the field of electronic product development. And they have a, we gave a space for their research activities at the department. Then the MOU with CEB, that is to, because we had several collaborations and research activity with CEB, members of CEB. But this MOU has a formal agreement. So under that MOU, we can increase the collaborations. Then we have a MOU with the collaborative agreement with the Polymer Technologies, that is to collaborative research activities for commercializing research outcomes. It's mainly on speech related research, speech signal processing research. And then there's another MOU with Sri Lanka Telecom, that is also to increase more collaboration with them for to strengthen our research. So yeah, I think I can miss one of them. So recently we had another MOU with Dialogue Exjata also to install 5G Innovation Center at the department. So then I will talk about the research profiles of the Department of Electrical and Electronic Engineering staff. So this Professor Atpudaraja, so his research interest, like briefly, it is control of power electronics applied to power system and electric machines. So the detailed profile can be viewed in the website, the staff website. The next one is myself. So my research interest mainly is signal processing and machine learning activities, but signal can be like electric current signal or voltage signal, harmonic analysis, load, electric load detection, and also EMF radiation, electric radiation related research, speech signal processing, forensic speaker recognition, biomedical signal processing, machine learning, those activities. And this is Dr. Prabharan. He is the Dean of the faculty. So his research interest, adaptive smart antennas, analytical methods of complex modes of propagation, scattering from layered medium, and microstrip antennas, low frequency analysis of microstrip structures, computational electromagnetics. This is Dr. Akhilan. So his research interest applying wide range of machine learning and deep learning algorithm to different speech signal processing and computer vision applications such as speech recognition, speaker diarization, speaker recognition, and face recognition. Applying machine learning to solve business problem and help organization make data-driven decisions. And this is Dr. Thananjan. So his research interest, green information technology, multi-access, edge computing. Edge computing means it's an ETSI-defined network architecture concept that enables cloud computing capabilities and an IT service environment. Then computation of offloading, deployment of and resource allocation for edge network, MEC network, energy efficiency in MEC network, and green computing. This Mr. Valluvan, his research interest, machine learning, communication system, innovation management, and technology commercialization. It's Vinodini. She is currently doing her PhD. Renewable energy integration, harmonic analysis, and power system analysis. So Mr. Mukundan, he is also doing PhD at SARE currently. IoT, electronic design and application, network design and signal processing. This Mr. Aduran, he is also doing PhD currently. Wireless sensor, his research interest on wireless sensor networks, V2X system, embedded systems. Mr. Rajan, his research interest are renewable energy generation and its integration, power electronic applications for power systems, power system control and stability, DC microgrids, electric machines. This Mr. Shankar, he is also currently doing his PhD, renewable energy, power systems, power electronics, smart grid and Internet of Things. Mr. Yuvaraj, he is digital signal processing, acoustic signal processing, and the image forensic analysis. Mr. Darugishan, digital signal processing, graph signal processing, multi-dimensional signal processing, FPGA-based electronic design. And few research facilities at our faculty is one is the renewable energy park. So this renewable energy park is we slowly developing that one with a few resources, and that has the following facilities to assist undergraduate and postgraduate students to conduct the research in renewable energy area and to demonstrate all renewable energy components to community. So we have rooftop solar power and also floating solar power. That is the first of that kind in Sri Lanka. Also wind turbine also we have. So those kind of things are part of this renewable energy part. And to prepare proposals for renewable energy technology and to contribute development of renewable energy technology and to develop a relationship between university and renewable energy sector to in a mutually beneficial way, and finally to advise policy developers for any current issues related to the renewable energy sector. So that is the facility provided by, and for more details, there's a web link for that facility. And machine learning and signal processing lab. So this is artificial intelligence and machine learning related research lab. So it can be applied in many areas such as telecommunication sector. So anomaly detection, root cause analysis, and network optimization, and developing IoT-based devices. Power sector, grid management, demand response, predictive maintenance, those kind of things. And recommendation system, product recommendation system in e-commerce, banking domain, and healthcare, speaker and language recognition. So all these places, it's nowadays machine learning is everywhere. So this lab is established based on a research grant from World Bank headed by Dr. Ahian. So for more information, this link can be used. And we have some professors. So far, we had contact with foreign professors, and they are Professor V. Aravindan from Wichita State University, Professor Ambia Raja from University of New South Wales, Professor A. Nirmala Das from Melbourne, Professor Anna Kage from Canada, from Professor Ilango Balasingham from Norway, Professor Midula Nadaraja from Australia. Likewise, these are the professors we had so far contact. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Our next speaker, Dr. A. Kaneshwaran, Head of Department of Computer Engineering, Faculty of Engineering, University of Jaffna. He had received Bachelor of Engineering degree with the first class honors from University of Peradeniya and PhD from Queensland University of Technology. And his PhD research was on robust phase clustering for real world data. Over to you, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to explain about the facilities available at the Department of Computer Engineering. This is the outline of my presentation. First, I will talk about the staff profile. Then I will explain about the collaboration we have with external experts. Then I will talk about the resources and what are the projects currently we are doing at the department. First, this is my profile, my research interest in biometrics such as face verification. Then I am working on computer vision area. Then especially I am interested in vision-based system for precision agriculture, such as yield prediction, disease classification of agricultural crops. Then in general, I am working in machine learning area as well. Then Dr. P. Jayanandan, her research interest is on bioinformatics. Then she is working on machine learning as well. She is graduated from University of Japan. She completed her PhD at the University of Southampton in 2019. Ms. J. Serger, currently she is doing her PhD at University of Louisiana at Lafayette. Her research interests are distributed computing, especially cloud computing, how to balance the job, then artificial intelligence and natural language processing. Mr. R. Muralidharan, his research interests are asynchronous network on chip design, STR-based environmental monitoring system, open source mobile network, and he's currently working on STN as well. He's graduated from University of Moratoa and he worked few years at MIT. Ms. Ju Tanuja, her research interests are medical image analysis, machine learning, and cloud computing. Currently, she is on study leave and she is doing her PhD at University of Alberta, Canada. She is also graduated from University of Moratoa and she worked at WSO2 for a few years. Ms. Madranda Silvaratnam, her research areas are computer architecture, computer security, pattern recognition. She is graduated from University of Moratoa. Then she worked at Microsoft Development Center, Norway. Ms. B. Jalini, her research interests are data management, machine learning, enterprise architecture, artificial intelligence. She is graduated from University of Peradeniya and she did her MBA at University of Srijayavarthanapura. Then she worked at the Sri Lanka Telecom for more than 12 years and she played a various role at the Sri Lanka Telecom. Mr. Wesley Radnakumar, his research interests are software engineering, computer vision and graphic design and machine learning. She is graduated from University of Jaffna. He is currently attached to the Department of Computer Engineering as a professional lecturer. Mr. N. Padmapiriyan, his research interests are theory of computation, statistical machine learning, and pattern recognition. He is graduated from University of Moratoa and he worked at Swiss Rank for 1 year. Now he is attached to the Department of Computer Engineering. We have a collaboration, especially our undergraduate projects are currently supervised by these external experts. Professor Mahesan Ranjan, he is from University of Southampton. Dr. Arunan Swanathan, he is from Australia. He is the lead machine learning engineer at from an industry. Dr. Rajidan Avradnak, he is graduated from University of Peradeniya and he did his PhD at Australia. Currently, he is the principal data scientist at Octave. In addition to that, we have collaboration with Professor Rosan Ragel. He is from University of Peradeniya. We have resources like a high performance computing facility to do the machine learning related research work. Then we have 5 labs, especially these labs are developed to conduct the undergraduate teaching. Those are network engineering lab, microprocessor lab, computer vision and machine learning lab, and computing lab. And currently we are developing sensors and wearable devices lab for IoT and IoT related research. Currently we are doing projects, especially I'm doing the project on vision-based system for precision agriculture, because we have an added advantage next to our faculty. We have an agriculture faculty. Then we are working to predict yield of grain crops, then automatic agricultural crop disease classification system. Especially we are trying to develop a system to identify the crop diseases for dry zone agriculture, because our region is belonging to dry zone. Then we are developing a database and we are working on models to predict agricultural crops. Then harvest classification systems, such as a classification of tea leaves. After harvesting the tea leaves, if we can automatically classify the tea leaves based on the classes, then we will be able to improve the tea quality. Then Dr. Pradibha is working on bioinformatics. She is trying to bridge the gap between transcriptome and proteome. This is especially she is working on cancer-related research. Then she is working on multi-omics data studies on various diseases. Currently, she is supervising undergraduate students and she is giving the research topic in these areas. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Our next speaker, Dr. P. Kadirkamanathan, Head of the Department of Interdisciplinary Studies, Faculty of Engineering, University of Jaffna. He joined the faculty as a senior lecturer with a background in mathematics and engineering in 2015. He has over 12 years of numerical modeling experience in the field of civil engineering, mechanical engineering, and applied science, and over 10 years of teaching experience in mathematics. He holds PhDs in mathematics and engineering. Over to you, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Here the resources mean it is a combination of human resources and physical resources. So under the human resources we have academic staff, visiting staff, and technical staff. And the academic staff and visiting staff, from them we can get their skill and knowledge. So I included here attitude also, because without the right attitude, the skill and knowledge won't be useful. So that's why I added here attitude. And another human resources. And here we have 3 branches within our department. First one is a mechanical and process engineering discipline. Other one is a engineering mathematics discipline, and other one is a complementary studies discipline. Under that we have management, art subject, and humanities also. Then under the physical resources, we have labs and the tools and the machineries available. Okay, so this is our team. Compared to other department, our team is very small. So we have only 3 senior lecturers and other 5 are probation lecturer, junior staff. They are yet to go for the postgraduate studies. Okay, now I'm going to tell about my background. So my research background is mathematical modeling and numerical computation. So while I was in New Zealand, I involved with many projects in various different disciplines. So some of them are listed here. So based on this experience and skill, so knowledge I learned, it is possible to involve with the industries around us. Okay, look at the first one. It's a product quality improvement. This is the mechanical engineering project. So here the product quality improvement for the aluminium extrusion industry. Here the original product had some surface defects. So that means the quality problem. So here the die pocket was redesigned. So I developed an algorithm to redesign to make the flow through the die is more uniform in terms of the speed and temperature. So from that experience, we may be able to collaborate some aluminium extruders or other extruders in the country. For example, Alumex and other extruders to improve the quality of their product. And the second project, that is the finite element modeling of the payment response. So it was developed for the New Zealand Transport Agency. So experience and knowledge is very useful. The experience and knowledge I learned there is very useful to RDA here, since RDA is still using the older technique to do their design. So by adapting this way, so they can optimize the cost. That means the cost of the road development can be reduced and the durability of the payment also can be increased. So that means collaborating with RDA. So that means, so to do that, we have to understand the behavior of the road and the payment material. That is the first task, and then improve the performance, durability of the road material, surfacing, payments, etc. And then third one, develop a non-standard and modified payment materials. And the third project about the source location estimation of atmospheric pollution. So here the pollution level measured from the measuring station to track backwards to identify the source location of the pollution and the total amount of the pollutant released into the atmosphere. So that means here the developed method is based on the groundwater pollution literature. So therefore, the knowledge I learned can be useful to study about the problem like Chunagam oil problem. So I am very interested in this problem to find the exact source. So this is the ideal problem for the PhD project. And the fourth one is a portfolio optimization. So here, for example, if you have sum of money and you want to invest to get the good return, at the same time to minimize the risk, okay, but the problem is how to do that. So that means here you have to optimize the function. That means optimize means you have to increase the return. At the same time, you have to minimize the risk. So here function to minimize and constrain will vary from customer to customer. So now in Sri Lanka, the interest rates are very low, and therefore every every bank, the customer is looking for the opportunity to get better returns. So this will be an ideal problem to work with the banks, investment managers or investment advisors. And the last problem is the seismic response modeling of the structure, underground structure, this especially during the earthquake, how they behave. Here we consider the pipeline, the behavior of the pipeline during the earthquake. This will be another problem to work with the, here the water supply and drainage board. Here also, during the road widening project, so the many pipes are damaged. So that means using the finite element technique, or that means the skill and knowledge I learned from here is useful to minimize the damages during the road widening project. Okay, so that means this is about my experiences in research. And then we have other members also in our department. For instance, Dr. Mayuran, he joined very recently. His interest and experience is a design of steel roof structure and the high wind loads, and design of steel structure, both cold and steel and hot rolled steel, and the design of timber structures. So that means these are the research impact of that. The two new design equations he developed, and they are now included in the Australian and New Zealand standards. So this will enhance the safety of roofing system during the storms and cyclones. So this also can be, applied to our country as well. And then Dr. Dachika, her projects, interests are also here listed here. Is mechanical and thermal properties of natural fiber reinforced composites part, and then 3D printer also. Here the research impact also, so he listed here. These are the final product can be useful, as well as creation of the flooring material, and other one is for the processes. Hands will help the computer grasp the complex complex objects. And then we have 5 junior lecturers, Anurag, and his research interest and the research impact also here listed here. Anurag and Iptas. So Iptas and Sajiva, they joined very recently, and they have research interest, and they have the research impact also listed here. Okay, that's all from my side. Thank you. Okay, well, sorry, and we have some physical resources also. Here, this is our building, and we have laboratories, lecture hall, drawing offices also available. So these are the list of laboratories: the chemical and process laboratory, thermodynamics laboratory, applied mechanics, strength of materials laboratory, manufacturing laboratory, robotics and automation laboratory, and sustainable technologies, computer-aided design, and mechatronics and biomechanics laboratories are available. And here, these are the equipment, the photos of the equipment, and the list are also listed here. Okay, that's all from my side, and thank you for the opportunity to share my department's resources, especially human resources plus the physical resources. Thank you. Thank you, Vinodini. You can.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Our next speaker, Engineer M. Vignaraja. Engineer M. Vignaraja obtained BSc Engineering degree from University of Pennsylvania. Also, he earned MPhil degree from University of Pennsylvania. Then he moved to United States and obtained MSc in Civil Engineering. Since June 2016, he is attached to the Department of Civil Engineering, University of Jaffna, as a senior lecturer in Civil Engineering. He enjoys the structural designs and forms of tall building, aerodynamics of tall structure, design of blast resistance buildings, real-time dynamic testing of structures, and etc. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Vinodini. I think you can hear my voice.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. So our department is civil engineering. We have streamlined our department into 3 streams: materials and structural engineering, geotechnical transportation is one sector, and hydraulic water resources engineering and environmental engineering. So 3 streams are going on. So I am today speaking on behalf of the material and structural engineering section. There are 2 other speakers from my department. They will be engaging with, one is from geotechnical side, another one from environmental and hydraulics side. So what I'm going to talk about today, because overall we have 15 academic staff. As our dean said, 11 senior lecturers and 4 probationary lecturers. We have all well allocated in the respective streams, and I will present what is our involvement in materials and structural engineering. I will present the resources we have available. Our staff members, Professor Sathibaran, he is specialized in masonry structures, and he is currently working on thermal conductivity of engineering bricks, especially the human comfort level with temperature changes, dynamic behavior of masonry structures. He applies the finite element concepts, and he's also working in cement blocks. And in his studies, he worked on tsunami vulnerability and risk assessment of structure. So if you have any research areas or collaborations or some kind of a detailed study on these masonry structures, you have our resource person available in our faculty. In my side, I am mostly involved in nonlinear mechanics. Whatever you see in blue, they are mostly highly theoretical side. Whatever in red is design or industrial side. The nonlinear finite element formulations, I do formulating new finite elements, integrating into the finite element codes. So that is a programming, formulation of multi-physics and multi-field problems. These are kind of developing new elements, not existing ones. And I program those finite elements into the numerical codes. Finite element performance testing. For example, you have variety of finite element. For example, if you take quad element, you have variety of element types. So how their performance and how do you apply them into real world problems, I do. And my teaching area is nonlinear continuum mechanics. Numerical methods I am involved over the last 20 years. Algorithm for transient problems, for example, not only statics, when you deal with dynamic and transient problems, what are the specific algorithm you may engage with solution of field problems. I do some study on it. These are more highly theoretical. And structural dynamics and vibration, earthquake engineering designs and detailing, tall building designs, ductile structures, and recently worked with structural acoustic vibrations. These are all practical, real world structural design. So I have involved in most of the high-rise building designs in Colombo. Also some other interesting problem like Hindu temples, we go and we study the acoustic vibrations and how it works, why those dimensions are important, those kind of things also we work. So if you have any interest on going into deeper into the finite element technologies and not only using them, application of finite element is different, but if you really want to study and test those techniques as well as their programming side, and the mathematics of finite element, you're always welcome. And Dr. Somran, he's working on the Polymer Technologies, structural strengthening, dynamic loading and protective technology, concrete engineering, something like pulverized concrete that you can reuse those concrete crushed materials, sustainable material systems and polymer composites. And he's also working on the waste-based composites. So if you are interested in those areas, it's a better person, Dr. Somratna, to communicate. And Dr. Jana is here. I think he's also in this presentation. He is basically working on the concrete laboratory. He has recently got a fairly good amount of equipments. Those are something I will present it later in these slides. A little bit of quality equipment that you can do some decent research. His interest on research is cold form flow systems and web crippling, bending and torsional failures. He is using finite element analysis. And recently he started working on the self-compacting concrete or concrete with green aspects, green concrete. So if you are interested in those areas, a better person, maybe Dr. Jana, you can access him. And Dr. Mayuran is also from our department. He is currently working for the mechanical, but his interest, as Khalid already has said, design of cold forms and hot rolled steel sections, and especially the wind-induced response of those structures. So these are the 5 people in the structural and material sections we have, and other 2 presenters will tell you about the other 2 streams and the respective people involved in this. And we have some foreign collaboration. Most of them has visited our faculty. Professor Bipulanandan, Professor Sri Ranjan, Professor Ramani Dharan, Professor Siva, Professor Murali was teaching us some courses in our department in one of his sabbatical. Professor Ravi Chandran was here in the early stages. He was with us. He was developing curriculum and things. Professor Devanayagam, Professor Sridharan, Professor Siddharthan, he is a transportation guy. Professor Sridharan, he is a structural person. So this availability is there. So if you have even want to work with foreign collaboration, you are always welcome. There are some equipments we recently purchased, and they can be classified into 3 groups. Destructive testings, they are breaking the stuff, so they are damaging the stuff and they measure the properties. Flexural testing machines, compression testing machines, these are some capacity that we can work with ordinary structures. Universal testing machine, the 100 kN and 300 kN, that's a so. Torsion testing machines, impact and drilling machines, so they're diamond drilling machine. And other regular university testing, university laboratory machines are there in the destructive testing group. And there are non-destructive testing that you test the properties of the structural material without damaging them. So you can go and study the concrete strength with the rebound hammer. You see the ultrasound pulse velocity for the resistance, cover meter, concrete resistivity, electrical resistivity meter. These are non-destructive testing equipment. And there are some other equipment that is usually we do it to accelerated cubing tank, probably having 12 cubes. The hot laminating press, hydraulic and manuals are there, cold press and block casting machines, slumpers. These are some regular apparatus that you see in every engineering faculty, so civil engineering departments. These are the equipment side of it. And I'm thankful. I'm also happy to present the very short description about our facilities. And I didn't put any photographs because I want you to visit the faculty. Please come and visit our laboratories and then have a feel for. You can send samples for our consultants' work. Also, you can visit if you let us know and we can arrange a trip for you. So better to come here and see and work with us. Thank you very much, the Vadakin chapter. And thanks, Vinodini. Thanks very much.
Thank you, sir. Our next speaker, Dr. K Edison. Dr. K Edison is a senior lecturer attached to Department of Civil Engineering, Faculty of Engineering, University of Jaffna. He obtained his BSc Engineering degree from the University of Pennsylvania. Then he received his master degree in Environmental Engineering and PhD degree in Civil Engineering from New Mexico State University, United States. He has over 8 years of research experience in the field of environmental and water engineering. Over to you, sir.
Yes, thank you, Vinodini. Hope you can hear me. Okay. Yes, it's my great pleasure to meet you all through this opportunity. Especially, thank you. Especially dedicating your holiday today. To hear what we are going to say. Thank you so much. So, as our head engineer Vignesh said, I'm going to cover the section on environmental and water resources engineering with the Department of Civil Engineering. So it's basically, I'm just going to spend this 10 minutes to talk about especially as Dr. Khalid said, we have brains and the facility. That's two things mainly. Okay, so I'm going to talk about our academic staff strength and also the key research facilities at our laboratories and what we are doing right now. Especially what's our research interest and what we have experienced and what we want to explore more. And yeah, so that's the next one is about opportunities for the postgraduate research. And then towards the end, I'm going to talk about our new developed master's program in water science and technology. So this is just a brief introduction to the academic staff attached to Department of Civil Engineering with expertise in water resources and environmental engineering. Here we have Dr. Silva and Mr. Sampath and Mr. Nilakshan. Their specialization is water resources engineering. And is myself, K Edison, and Dr. Daniel and Daksha. She's on currently study leave. So I will talk about their expertise later, but just want to introduce them because this is our great strength. The main strength is our brains, our staff. So I just want to introduce first. Then look at the brief for kind of an overview of our key research facilities. Here we have 4 labs, especially dedicated for the environmental and the water resources. We have a fluid mechanics lab and the water resources lab and environmental and the analytical labs. Since the presentation or the target is to talk about the postgraduate, so I don't put anything related to the teaching of the labs, but here I only talk about the research thing. So what we have, especially the journey in the last, in my case, is the last 5-6 years. Actually, we made that empty labs to the kind of a reasonably with good equipments and all. So now we can do pretty good water quality testing in our laboratory, and we can do the wastewater quality testing. It's ranging from the physical, chemical, microbiological parameters. Yeah, that's always there. And also in our recent projects and all with the grants and all, we have some special equipment. That's what I just want to highlight. So we have a particle size analyzer. This is mainly used for, characterizing the particle size in a treated water or any relevant fluids. And also with the recent World Bank grant, one of the competitive research projects, we got this gas chromatograph mass spectrometry, we call shortly the GCM mass.
I could say maybe in the northern the region, I think the first 10 ever that GCMS, probably all of you aware that when we had this oil grease issue that people were talking so much about the GCMS, now we have in our labs, but it's only recently installed, and now we are doing we have done the installations and all, but now we are doing the preliminary training. So the use of that is actually we can go for a measurement of volatile organic components, especially just rising from any oil and grease based contaminant, pesticides or any emerging volatile components. But the note is actually, it's not just plug and play instrument. We need to develop methods and columns and all, but we can go for a really reliable measurement. Apart from that, we have a TOC analyzer mainly for the total organic carbon. And we have from one of the project, the water harmony projects, we got this reverse osmosis testing facility. So it means we can test for multiple conditions and all. Apart from that, we have like a different range of microscopes, spectrophotometer, calorimeter, water samplers, mass flow meters. And also in the fluids labs, we have the structure models for open channel and wind tunnels and all, and soil water models, lysimeter, river flow simulators. I just want to kind of list that main thing. And as our head said, I mean, I welcome you to physically visit and witness this thing. So this is our brief introduction about our staff. That's our key strength, Dr. S.S. Silva, and his research interests are water management in irrigation scheme, water resources utility in northern river basins, and transboundary water resources and management. And apart from that explaining more, I just want to show the postgraduate supervision currently being done by Dr. S.S. Silva. So he has 2 PhD ongoing, that engineer Vijayakant and Chandi, I think said one from our industry. And other than that, there are 3 MPhil programs that is based on community-based CBO water system, and then optimum management of water resources for Kanagara and our river basin. Actually, it's the research is undertaken by engineer N. Sudharan. Then MPhil is on another MPhil is on climate change impacts. So just the idea what I am briefing, rather just say what we can do, that I mean you can get some idea. So this is the current thing I think undertaken by Dr. S. Silva. So he just want to explore more towards similar or any new available avenues for similar research. Yes, then the next one is me, myself, K Edison. So my research interests are actually mainly the wastewater treatment, especially the waste to energy concept, mainly converting the wastewater to biofuels like biodiesel, bioethanol, and biofertilizer. And so actually this research is funded by World Bank currently, it's going on. And also anaerobic digestion and even membrane assisted water treatment and all. So here my experience in the postgraduate supervision. So I have completed so far around 6 masters total course supervision. Actually, it's the first 3 actually with the support from Peradenia because we had some joint projects through Warsaw Asia project. And it's basically, I explored more on the sorption technique, aerated filters, and then currently moving towards like using the microalgae for treating some food-based wastewaters and all. And also the last 3 MS projects are actually part of our Masters in Environmental Management. That is a University Jaffna's Masters program. And we have 3 industry people who have completed recently their Masters. And also I have 2 MPhil program going on. It's about treatment of landfill leachate using microalgae, and also production of lipids using nanoplasty. So this is like a way towards the postgraduate. So I just want to explore more on that if anybody interested in. Then is our Dr. Daniel. He's interested now, research interests are stormwater biofilters. And currently, actually, his interests are towards porous concrete and hydraulic conductivity and heat transportation. So, please, he's ready to explore more on that area. And we have Mr. Sambat. His research interests are actually climate change impacts on water resources, hydrological modeling and all, and river flows computation and all. And we have Daksha. This is Daksha and Lohe. Currently, she's on study leave in Missouri University. She is more into in the wastewater engineering and solid waste management area. And the next one recently joined is Mr. Nilakshan. He's our University Jaffna's product. Actually, he's a graduate and he did masters in the UK anyway. So his interest are coastal engineering and groundwater pollution remediation related thing. So yeah, so that is just kind of a brief. So now I feel maybe the take-home message or the end part of my presentation. So this is what we are doing, and this is what we can explore. So I mean more opportunities where. So right now we have already had several grants, like especially the Vaso Asia project, NORAD funded, Norwegian funded, and another water harmony project. Those were finished. Currently we have this World Bank funded project till October 2022. That's what I said is a microalgae assisted wastewater treatment. It's a 40 million grant. That is what I received this GCMS and all. And we have a MSc and master students are working towards it. So I like to explore more if anybody interested in such a related area. And in terms of the taught courses, like we have this MSc in environmental management is also open to engineers. So anyway, it's what I offered by the graduate studies. We have another as an outcome of Vaso Asia. So I'm ready to offer another MSc program in water science and technology. I will just brief in the next slide. And also we always welcome MPhil PhD program throughout the year. I mean, because it's a way to explore any thing. So apart from that, I always open, our team is always open to have any short training program, because we have the support of a local and overseas academics. Even if you can't do that, I mean, we'll find resources like for example, even we have experience with the ArcGIS and so, I mean, training program. And even we can do GCMS or any new software like on demand basis. I mean, SWAT or something. Okay, we are very much happy to assist you on that. Then, that's my take-home message before I talk about our MSc. Actually, my experience with that, we explore more towards like technology transfers or joint projects. I mean, we need to clearly understand the research and project, because I could see there are a number of engineers approach to want to do research, because you understand the MPhil is actually designed, it's a research, it's more for more opening, more findings and not. But if you look at the Northern Province, actually, we are just behind with the normally available or existing technology in the world. So we need to explore more how it's possible, not towards MPhil research, but towards some technology transfer, joint projects. Maybe I can say, like, for example, the activated sludge system for wastewater treatment is 100 years long, 100 years history. But in Jaffna, can you witness a plant here? No. So it means you don't need to do research for that. We need to do technology transfer. I'm very happy to do, with nothing. We are doing it, but we're very much happy to explore. But this can only possible by win-win. The industry or you, the institution attached to, you should also come up with some, opening idea, like a win-win. So we both should benefit, because you should get some benefit, and we are happy to share our resources and the brains. Especially, we can explore. Jaffna or Northern is very much behind the advanced water wastewater treatment, but it's already exists in the world. You don't need to do a new research, but we can pick what is available, and we can, but little bit we can go for some innovative methods for fit to our climate and condition, but mostly we can explore, especially real-time groundwater monitoring system, and we can go for some waste safety audit program. Especially now the Jaffna is mainly based on that individual household-based water treatment plant, where nobody knows what we are drinking. So we can we can explore more towards like individual-based or household-based water safety audit program. And also we can explore more towards, so this is all way to explore towards like technology transfer or joint projects. And sorry, I know I'm exceeding my time. So I'm very much happy to hear from you and understand what you need and explore more. I'm there. So my final note, actually, as I said, the next our way forward is our new masters in water science and technology. So this is actually designed for both engineers and non-engineers. I think I'm very happy to use this as a platform to reach out all of you to see the demand, and because we are now finalized our courses and all. Now I'm going for some stakeholder evaluation. So I'm very much happy to hear from you, your support, your need, and I'm very much happy to explore. So that's my take-home message, because as a researcher, I feel publishing papers and all is something like that, but there's something make some impacts that I can go and touch and see. I think I'm very much happy to see such thing. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And I'm sorry I exceeded my time. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Our next speaker, Dr. Nishandan. Dr. Nishandan is a senior lecturer at Department of Civil Engineering, Faculty of Engineering, University of Jaffna. He obtained his BSc Engineering degree from University of Peradeniya, and he completed his PhD at Western Sydney University, Australia in 2014. His thesis investigates the excavation-induced ground movements during urban construction. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Vinodini. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir, but voice is low.
Is it all right now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So I'm Dr. Nishantan. I'm working in the geotechnical field. So my presentation briefly include our staff strength in the geotechnical and transportation division, and what are the lab facilities we have, and the projects we are planning to do, and what we are doing currently, and our collaborations. So first I go through our staff strength. This is one of our senior member. He has been serving the faculty from the start, Dr. A. Undergraduate. So he is mainly looking after the transportation division. His research interest in traffic control, traffic simulation modeling, variable demand forecasting, and intelligent transport system. So in addition to that, he is working on payment area as well. So this is myself. So I worked in the area of numerical modeling of excavation-induced ground movements and lateral loading of piles, and development of UMET programs and finite element modeling, material modeling for geomaterials. So that is our main area. So prior to joining the faculty, I worked as a geotechnical engineer in the piling industry for 4 or 5 years. So I have a good knowledge of industry experience as well. So this is our recent recruit, youngster Miss M. Shanuja. She completed her bachelor's in Southern Eastern University of Sri Lanka, and he completed a MPhil program from Peradeniya. Her research interests are soil gas diffusion, stabilized solid waste, and subsurface gas migration, transportation, and landfill gas emissions. So now I'm going to tell about our visiting staff, because from the start itself, our division is lack of staff members. I also recently joined just 1 year back. So from the start itself, a lot of foreign professors and local professors helping us to develop the lab, as well as for the undergraduate teaching as well. So first one is Professor Nimal Senaviratna. He's a well-known prominent figure in Sri Lankan geotechnical engineering. He has been with us for the last 2 years. He has been involving in the development of lab activities and some teaching activities, as well as establishing MOUs and with NBRO. So the second one is Professor Muralidharan. He has been helping us in teaching as well, teaching some advanced courses like constitutive modeling of geomaterials when he was in a sabbatical leave. And he's currently jointly supervising some undergraduate projects. And he has been a mentor for me for last 1 year. So he is willing to join us in the future as well for teaching activities as well as research. This is Professor Madranda Ravichandra. So he has been serving the faculty from the start. Before the faculty recruited any lecturer in the geotechnical field, he has taught soil mechanics and geotechnical engineering, and he recruited one of our first student for the higher studies in Clemson University under his supervision. So he will be supporting us in the future as well, and he is currently involving in development of soil database for the northern region. Actually, it is one of his main idea. So he is currently working in some development of database in California area in USA. So he want to do same kind of thing for the northern region as well. And the last one is Professor Silva. So he will be joining us in the future for the teaching as well as undergraduate research projects. So why I'm telling these professors are willing to help us and willing to develop our faculty to the next stage. That means currently we started our programs in 2013. Now we are almost all right in undergraduate teaching and research. So now we are looking to get into the next step for higher studies, providing master courses as well as MPhil and PhD programs. So these professors are willing to help in those programs for teaching as well as research area. So these are the lab facilities. We have a separate geotechnical engineering laboratory as well as transportation engineering laboratory. So I have listed some testing facilities available in the labs. So we have a decent lab. We have some decent equipment to conduct experiments to find the shear strength parameters, permeability characteristics of soil, so compaction and Atterberg limit test. So in the transportation lab also we can do CPR, ductility, Marshall, and some penetration test, and some tests for bitumen as well. So now currently we are in the process of developing a numerical lab for, so currently buying computers to run some computer programming or to do some numerical modelings. So we are in the process of establishing that. So these are some possible research opportunities in the geotechnical engineering. So the first one is building a soil database for the northern region. During the Industrial Consultative Committee meeting, also most of the engineers request or discussed regarding the establishment of a database for a northern region. Actually, these kind of projects are already established in most developed countries, and even in Sri Lanka, NBR or National Bureau of Research and National Bureau of Building and Research Organization has already established a pilot program for Greater Columbia area. So we just started in the process of developing a database for the northern region. So for this one, Professor Nimal Senaviratna and Professor Ravichandran will be helping us, and this will be a research course, or this will be an undergraduate research, as well as this will be used in the future for MPhil or master program. So we are hoping to recruit students for the higher studies as well in this context. So, and my next research area, I have been looking at proposing a sustainable solution or foundation solution while considering the karst rock features in the northern region. So we are just collecting data for existing, what are the foundation here we are using, and the soil data, soil properties, soil investigation test data. So we will be investigating them. In the identified area, that's the interest in the regional interest, investigation and the treatment of expansive soils in the northern region. In Tunukai and Murkan clays are expansive in nature. So these behaviors should be investigated, and we will be proposing some treatment methods also. So our collaborators also willing to take part in this research, because most of the some of the professors, their main area of research is unsaturated soil mechanics. So the last one is the investigation of landslides in Sri Lanka. So this is the national interest. So some professors are already working in that area. They will be helping us to further develop research in this area. So these are some of the undergraduate research projects currently I'm doing. So pile response to tunneling induced ground movements. Here students we study how the existing pile respond to the newly constructed tunnels. And the other one is lateral loading of pile groups in different soils. So here we analyze the group effect and investigate the P multipliers because of the group effect when the piles are subjected to lateral loading. And the third one is excavation induced ground movements. So this is kind of extension of my high studies. So here I investigate the small strain effect during the excavation induced ground movements. So we try to model the soil behavior using the small strain effects. So EPS geoform, expandable polystyrene. So here we incorporate the material model for expandable polystyrene geoform into the finite element modeling to model the material behavior of the geoform. So here the EPS geoform function as an earth retaining backfill material for the earth retaining structure. So the last one is the investigation of methane and carbon dioxide transportation in differently characterized soils. So this is mainly supervised by our new recruit, Ms. Sharja. So we are planning, we are currently in the process of signing a MOU with the NBRO. So to access their database as well as their lab facilities, and to provide some short courses and training program for technical officers and engineers in the practicing engineers in the region, in the northern region. So they also willing to establish a station here at the university and to provide joint consultancy. So we should be able to explore their services, as well as we will be able to use their human resources in the supervision of undergraduate projects as well as postgraduate projects. That's all. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. I'd like to thank IESL Wadakin chapter for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker, Professor A. Adbudaraja, Chairman, Board of Study, Engineering, Faculty of Graduate Studies. Professor A. Adbudaraja received BSc Engineering degree with the first class honors from University of Peradeniya and PhD from University of Manchester Institute of Science and Technology. In 2013, he was permanently released from University of Peradeniya to serve the University of Jaffna on establishing the Faculty of Engineering. From 2015 to 2021, he served as Dean, Faculty of Engineering, University of Jaffna. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Vinodini. If anybody is unable to hear, please interrupt me.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So I will just very good presentation in the morning, starting from our dean to the heads of the department and experts in the field. It was a wonderful technical presentation to the engineers, and I am coming to some kind of a managerial level as a chairman of the board of study attached to the Faculty of Graduate Studies, University of Jaffna. I am a professor attached to electrical electronic engineering at University of Jaffna. So my presentation is going to motivate you how the research and development help the engineers, industries, organization, community, and country at large. So accordingly, of course, as engineers, we all know that we have to do design, analysis, testing, implementation, development, but we mostly focus the research component when we consider the large community of the engineers. So here the stress is given to you. Now the era is coming up with research and developing some sustainable component so that whenever you develop, we need to consider holistically through kind of research and development as well as technology transfer, as one of the speakers mentioned, Dr. K Edison. So therefore, I am kindly requesting all of you to pay attention to the research, because as you all know now, technology faculty is producing technologists. So the engineers need to focus on research and development with the sustainable design and implementation. So let's see what is the basic definition for research and development. Research and development is a set of innovative activities which undertaken by the industries or corporations or government in developing new services or product or improving the existing one. So basically, when I say the research and development, it is the first stage of development for this kind of nature. But of course, then the industry will take over the research component and continue on further development for the commercial market. For example, the mobile phones, laptops, all kind of technology came through so much of research and development. We are using it. So the advantage point of view, engineer will get the advantage of career development, his personal career development. For example, if an engineer develop his organization boosted with the knowledge, and he will get a confidence, his organization will get very confident on the work what he is doing. Of course, you have the confidence at the moment, but it will make further rock bottom very strong confidence and satisfaction at the end with your life, where you may not make any mistakes, or not only mistakes, but focusing the future, next 20 years of development. You will be happy to see that your contribution is stay there for next 20 years. Future focus is coming from mostly on the research side. So from the corporation point of view or industry point of view, of course, when they invest the time of the engineers, they are paying you a salary, paid leave for doing the research, so that they will get back as an innovative idea with sustainable solutions, so that the real world problem can be solved through the sustainable, by providing sustainable solutions. And country at large, when we look from the country point of view, the development take place through the in-depth analysis, because research and development little bit take you to slow, but it go through very severe analysis with the future forecast. So future technological development. For example, today nobody wanted to have old wind turbines. They wanted to have new wind turbine, which is more benefited to the person to extract more power from the same wind. So they are looking from sustainable development. So the engineers, we need to work very hard to get into this system through the research and development. So basically, in all over the world, you can see the developed countries spend more money for the research, GDP. You can see Korea, US, Germany, all of them. But Sri Lanka is very less. But it's okay. We are developing country. Oh, we are in the stage of transience, so many problems. Whatever we have the facility, today the engineers are the resources for us. So why don't we take the engineers to contribute to the research and development? Then automatically this will increase. So let's see how we can boost the research and development from the Sri Lankan point of view. Of course, when you look from the funding specific to Sri Lankan point of view, stipend is not a problem for all of you. We offer part-time postgraduate program. It is research degree, MPhil, PhD, you can come and do part-time. And you don't need to take leave from the industry because it's offered during the weekend or out of hours. So your funding point of view, your salary is there to handle your day-to-day life expenses. So from the interest point of view, maybe different engineers will have different interests. We have 4 departments, the 4 heads, and even civil department has 3 categorization. Even other department also like that. So we are going to, we already offer some of the MSc program as Dr. K Edison mentioned, but we are going to open few more MSc program as all heads of the department mentioned, especially on MSc in civil and environmental or MSc in electrical, electronic engineering and computer engineering. All will be mix up and we'll offer more and more MSc program within 1 year period. We have already started working on that. And also, we already opened the MPhil and PhD research program. So somebody asked, are you offering some mechatronics work? If they like to do mechatronics, please come and join for the MPhil or PhD. It is independent. It is individual interest. If you are interested, you can do research and get the degree from there. We already opened for that as well. Then course fees. Course fees, of course, a little about 2 lakhs to somewhere around 1 to 2 lakhs range or 3 lakhs range. Course fees are very depending on the courses. But most importantly, our program we are designing, even other faculties also usually do that one. Specifically our program, we wanted to solve real world problem through this program, research and development. So definitely your industry will fund it. For example, Ceylon Electricity Board, if they recognize this program, they will fund fully for you. So likewise, there are many industries who are ready to fund for the postgraduate. So we will capture their funding for you. Not only that, National Research Council, National Science Foundation, if your research is really benefited to the country, they also will pay for the course fee and other thing. We have to apply and get the grant. So for example, from your engineer's career point of view, you can see the recently the release public services minutes and the gazette. The engineers shall have completed postgraduate or postgraduate diploma qualification that contain course duration not less than 9 months in the field of engineering for this promotion, special grade. When you go to class 1, then special grade, there are some components. I will pass these slides to engineer, the chairman of the IES and Madranda chapter, so you can go through this. But I think most of the senior engineers know this. I got it from them. Even what about vacancy filling? They expect, of course, postgraduate degree is again benefited to you for selection in that one. Or even in the road development department, highway engineers, a postgraduate, you can see the last row with the yellow color, postgraduate, postgraduate qualifications are expected for the senior engineer recruitment, the last row in this slide. So this is, I received some summary presentation from Engineer Sudhakar and I acknowledge him for his help. This clearly says, for example, government department, irrigation, special grade, you need some postgraduate qualification. National Water Board, you need some postgraduate qualification. Road Development Department, you need some postgraduate qualification. Likewise, there are many places, postgraduate qualification always help for the engineers for their career development. When you develop your career, institutions or the industries will boost their quality, which will boost the service to the country. Few successful stories. I will just quickly go through. You might know that the hydrogen power plant at Ulivadivu is one of the outcome of the postgraduate research degree, MSc research component. CV engineer did that, and he went and again presented the concept. After he found that it's a viable project to the Ulivadivu island, he presented the concept to the Korea, Korean and Korean as well as ADB, and finally get the grant and implement it in Eluvadi. Now China and India is discussing who wanted to take up the same technology to other islands in North. So you know that this become very famous now. So similarly, small wind turbine about 2.5 kilowatt was an outcome of one of the research, and with the help of University of, it was implemented by University of Pennsylvania, North Center, Practical Action. We implemented at Puttalam. Nikavaratia is about Rasnaikapura, and now you can see Puttalam is full of wind turbines. Mannar is having 100 megawatt wind park. So it's a technological transfer by putting pilot project. We know the research benefit, and we are putting pilot project to a commercial person to come and attract. He's able to see this much of money I need to put and this much of money I can get it out through the pilot project. So he catch up with wind turbine development, wind farm development, and finally now Mannar and Punagiri. There are so much of free resources can be utilized if you know the technology, if you know in depth of technology. That will help us to know in how these are working, which will help us to develop the technology for the benefit of the country. Some of our undergraduate projects, you can see the national winners in 2018 in the concrete competition. National winners competing all the state universities and all the private universities, over 500 plus participants. They won the match in the through the research and development from the Department of Civil Engineering. This year, Undergraduate Inventor of the Year, again won the match in the country, national level, where they compete with all the universities and private universities, and they won the first place, University of Jaffna Mechanical Department. So why I am showing these all is, this shows clearly that the research and development is possible at University of Jaffna, Faculty of Engineering, where we have grown up 8 years from the establishment. Now we are really stable operation. As our dean sir said at the beginning, over 650 million equipment is placed in all 4 departments. So some of them are dedicated for research. They are from AHEAD World Bank project or Erasmus Plus project, the World Bank projects and European Union projects grant. So it is now the time for the engineers to harvest the knowledge from the Faculty of Engineering and boost your knowledge for serving the best to the region as well as the country. So the important message in conclusion, the R&D is an important business because it's a powerful knowledge. It provides powerful knowledge insights, and it leads to improve the existing process where efficiency can be increased. So the cost will be reduced in overall. It also allows business to develop new product and services to allow survive and thrive in a competitive market. So if I summarize with my experience, research and development is a multi-million business. If you can get it success, but it is very challenging. Even though it is challenging, you can, if you have the dedication and hard work, you will definitely achieve the benefit out of it. Thank you so much. And if you have any clarification, as a board of study chairman, I can tell you there are now already implemented 24-month full-time MPhil degree program, 36-month full-time PhD degree program, or 36-month part-time MPhil degree program, 48-month 4 years part-time PhD program. But that can go maximum up to MPhil 5 years if you have any problem in between, or maximum up to 72 months for the PhD. So these MPhil PhDs are already established in the Faculty of Engineering together with Faculty of Graduate Studies of University of Jaffna. But if you wanted to do the MSc Engineering program, third course, which are so many programs are on the pipeline, towards end of this year, you will be able to know that, and we'll put all the information to you through the ISL NBC. I take wholeheartedly thanking the IESL Northern Province Chapter, the Chairman Engineer Jaganandan and his team for giving this time and opportunity for us to discuss with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Our next speaker, Professor S. Kannadasan. He received Bachelor of Veterinary Science degree from University of Peradeniya, a field degree from University of Jaffna, and again PhD degree from University of Peradeniya. He currently served as a Dean, Faculty of Graduate Studies, University of Jaffna. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I think I'm the last man to bat few balls. So I don't take much of your time because our ambassador, the Board of Study Chairman, Professor Atpudaraja, has very, very interestingly and enthusiastically motivated you. But I see this opportunity and as an opportunity or a forum which brings the field working engineers, those who are really seeing the problems, connecting the resources that mean to solve those problems. Each and every department, they have exhibited their resources in terms of human brain or expertise and the laboratory facilities. So this is the right forum which will merge or which will facilitate to utilize those resources to solve those problems. So actually these working engineers, they need, as Professor Atpudaraja correctly mentioned, they need to do the postgraduate studies, not only for new working or recruitment opportunities or any their promotions. Apart from that, individually, by doing the postgraduate studies, they can improve their knowledge, skill, attitude, and mindset. So it's a crucial role in their career path. Definitely, they have to do, or better, they have to do a postgraduate studies. As Professor Atpudaraja mentioned, because the graduate studies is an umbrella body or the coordinating body of University of Jaffna, having 12 board of studies, starting from agriculture, developmental studies, earth science and environmental studies, education, and engineering is one of those. Not only specifically engineering, but engineering staff involved in multidisciplinary studies, like they involve in earth science, even in physical science. They are doing some that mean collaborative postgraduate studies like environmental science. So the engineering discipline people can do MPhil and PhD directly in engineering or master courses, MSc or something like that, or depending on their need, they can do other interdisciplinary master courses or PhD or MPhil as well. So according to our regulation, we have, as Professor Atpudaraja mentioned, we have MPhil courses where the candidate should possess a particular, I think you all would fit for that MPhil, and we have part-time as well as full-time. I think part-time will fit for you. I think there are people, even 2-3 days back, we have one proposal for MPhil, Dr. K Edison student presented there. As well as we are having these PhD, the regulations. I think Professor Atpudaraja, I will mail it to you, then you can share it with the engineers. These are our rules and regulations. Then the important thing is we have to select a field. In which field we are going to study, that means in civil engineering field or electrical, electronic or something. Then we have to select a supervisor, then based on the research problem. Then we have to find a title, then a proposal, then we have to present in front of a panel. Then the panel will decide on whether the proposal is adequate or we have to do some modification or something like that. Then we can go for registration. As mentioned earlier, don't worry much about the course fees, because we, the Graduate Studies Jaffna, is currently offering the courses in a very low cost compared to the other postgraduate studies. Though the financial committee is continuously pressing us to increase the course fee, but the people are in the view of rather than getting money, we have to educate the people, solve the problems. So we are not, as much as possible, we will offer the courses at our level best at low cost. So our main aim is to, as I mentioned earlier, solve the problems, educate the engineers to the next level rather than graduate, postgraduate level, and help them to get the promotions and so on. As a simple example, in our laboratory at medical faculty, we are involved in doing the PCR test for these COVID-19 tests. And during, I think, a couple of months back, we had an issue because we were getting a large number of samples. We couldn't handle it. So if you want to handle that, we had to buy a new microcentrifuge, which could be able to centrifuge the PCR tubes. But when I contacted Professor Atularaja and I think the multidisciplinary department, they did a wonderful job. They had made our rotor according to fit to our older microcentrifuge, and we could be able to double the number of samples. So what we have to do is we have to tap the resources where they are available. So I think I must thank, I think Prabhaharan is also involved in that activity. I must thank the engineering faculty because they have helped us technically to support in that crisis type. So similarly, that is a small example, a small problem. Similarly, we would have a lot of problems in long term and in a large scale. So we have to study that in depth and provide the solution, implement it, and see that we have contributed to the nation. So with that note, I think I can wind up, I guess. We can, if time permits, then I think the heads are there and we are here. We can discuss, I guess, rather than we talking. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Next one, discussion on industrial problems to be solved through research and development. Now the platform is open for panel discussion with resource persons. You all are welcome to ask any questions you may have. Already there are few questions in this chat box. First one from Engineer T. Nandakumaran. Do you have a postgraduate course in mechatronics to gain knowledge, especially in hybrid car?
Professor Atularaja, you can answer that, I guess.
Yeah, actually, at the moment, we haven't developed the postgraduate program, especially third course, dedicated for the hybrid car or the mechatronics field. Even though we have the undergraduate program where the mechatronics is one subject, and we have a very good laboratory mechatronics in the mechanical department as well as electrical electronic engineering department. So I may suggest if any, because we need to check the demand days also. But if an individual person, maybe a group of people wanted to learn the mechatronics, one possible, we can do a CPD program, continuous personal development program, targeted to one group of people. Or I may say, if anybody interested in going in depth, come for the MPhil program. That will be very much help us to take you through in-depth analysis, not only within the expert inside the University of Jaffna, but also we can get more people as foreign professors like to help us and other colleagues from other universities in Sri Lanka. We can take you through that level if very small number of people wanted to do in this course. Or if there's a group of people, we can do CPD program. But in the future, we will definitely consider on at least up to specialization on mechatronics when we develop the MSc program, which will come within next 1 year. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question is from Engineer Sukandalingam. Any research related to mobile app development about civil engineering?
Dr. Kanesh or Engineer Vignaraja, maybe.
Civil engineering, we have not started any mobile app development.
Actually, this is the forum like stakeholder feedback or the need analysis. So this all the experts should take up the needs of the engineers, and we have to think in line of developing that course. Thank you.
Yes.
But I think, in fact, I think mobile app development, it may be something specific to civil engineering, but the common app development is common procedure. So therefore, our computer department or some other staff member who are expert in mobile app development in the computer department or even the electrical department, they can help this kind of, especially in this activity.
I would like to get more details regarding this problem. Then if you have any research problem or anything, you can directly contact computer engineering department, or you can send an email to me.
That will be excellent. Please follow up with Dr. Kaneshwaran. If you kindly drop an email with the detail, then he will follow up with you. Maybe this discussion forum will be very good opening, as the Dean Graduate Studies, Dr. Kannadasan, Professor Kannadasan said. It will be good opening for the future strong collaboration as well as stakeholder feedback. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next question from Engineer Alex. Do you have engineering design center in Faculty of Engineering as in Peradeniya?
Maybe I will start, then Dean sir can continue. Actually, there's a UBL, University Business Linkage, attached to University of Jaffna. There we have the faculty coordinator as well. Mr. Waldevan is a University Business Linkage coordinator here. Or if you need any kind of business development to be done, that means testing services or consultancy services or conducting CPD program or anything, either you can conduct through the University Business Linkage, or our Dean, Dr. Prabhakaran, can be communicated directly, so he can divert to the relevant heads of the department. They will communicate, connect through the UBL and engage all of you for the any kind of CPD program or testing service or consultancy services. If anything more, please, Dr. Prabhakaran, you may continue.
Thank you very much, Professor Atwaraja, for the introduction. In fact, this kind of, we don't have a specified design center like the name called came used in the Peradeniya, but the similar function is we are doing through the UBL. So therefore, if you have anything to be designed or any issues there, you can directly contact the UBL or directly contact the respective department heads or even Dean Engineering. So we will direct you to the appropriate place. So therefore, in addition to that one, we are going to have workshops for the mechanical engineering and electrical engineering very soon. So once it is ready, so even design center design can be even implemented or tested, or also those facilities also will be possible. But at this moment, design center work, you can directly contact to our UBL coordinator, Mr. Waldevan.
Thank you, sir. Next question from Engineer Muthu. Is there any opportunity on water resource engineering? I mean, a PhD course.
Yes, maybe I think I can answer that question. Thank you so much. Yeah, I don't have a straightforward answer, but I think yes, answer is yes, but it's like it depends because the PhD mean we need to really explore that what area actually and all. So my suggestion is I welcome. Please contact us depending on your research interest and. When we see that I mean we can definitely look at some new opportunities. So my suggestion is just contact us and we will talk about that. Thank you.
As far as postgraduate studies is concerned, three things we see that one is field of study. What I think you have selected the field of study, then find a supervisor, appropriate supervisor, and come with a problem or thesis proposal title and a proposal. Then we can proceed.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Engineer Vinodini, this is Pushpa Raja. Shall I make a comment?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you for everyone. Really, today's CPD event, the panel discussion is the most relevant industrial requirement. So I really appreciate the resource persons from the university and the industry people. So it's a very interesting and nice presentations. So I would like to suggest two matters. One is actually the engineers, as informed by the Professor Adputaraja, the engineers should have the self-marketing. Otherwise, even in the COVID-19 the period, engineers have made several things, several innovative designs and the outcomes for the benefit of the public, but it should be brought to the everyone by sharing the message. So I humbly request to do these, present these research and development opportunities in the social media. At the same time, the annual transactions in the Vadakin chapter and the Financial Times.lk, the leading online newspaper carries a lot of industrial issues. Recently also we have observed the status of the construction industry, an article. So it's a very nice article. So we can publish this information because University of Jaffna as a leading institution, they have done several good things, the innovative things to the society and the students. So it is better to publish those things in the even in the engineering news, Sri Lanka engineering news, SLEN, as well as the Financial Times.lk and the annual transaction in the Vadakin chapter. So it can reach more people, because I actually regret this. Today's there are only 60 participants in the event, but we have more than 350 engineers in the northern province. So why they are reluctant to join these? I don't know, because we should do more advertising and encourage our engineers, even in the departmental wise, to join these very useful programs, because no one can get this knowledge or information other than joining this CPD program. How we can get this usage from these academic experts, because there are nearly 10 academic staff. They spend their valuable time even during this holiday period. So we must appreciate that. And as engineers, industrialists should join this program and take the benefit from this opportunity. So, and that is my message. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Professor Adputaraja, and thank you, Vadakin Chapter Chairman and the committee. Thank you for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Pushparaya.
Thank you, sir.
I'm Engineer Sudhakaran. Can I talk now?
Yes, you can.
Right. I think I have already given my feedbacks through the chat box regarding this course. Anyhow, it's a marvelous event organized by both of them. So beyond that, I have picked up a few points from the Dr. K Edison regarding the emerging issue in industry. That is I very much attracted for our industry. As you know, we have so many gray areas to be addressed in our sector in the industry level. But unfortunately, we are much rely on the international or national consultant by giving so much of funds from the public funds to get the service out of that. So that is very unfortunate. So that is very not even sustainable. So that is only addressing for the project benefit, not the sustainable beneficial. So in that regard, I humbly request, even though your PhD or MBA program incorporate the local industrial issues appropriately. You can choose the title of the studies or anything from the locality issues. We have a lot of issues we have listed out. So you have to capture that one. That is the main thing. The same way you can address some issues. So that is definitely our intervention, or even our departments or institution having say R&D divisions substantially, but it's not appropriate or to address that issue by our own way. So definitely the industrial and university collaboration must be needed at that point. So we appeal from on behalf of industrial engineers. So you have to collaborate with us beyond the PhD MSc study. You have to collaborate with us, taking our gray areas and do research involving us also to continuously because sometimes I can say 30-40 years of gray area, they are still existed. So you have to address long way. So that is beneficial to the industry, in turn beneficial to our community. That is my main intention. I want to talk about. Definitely Dr. K Edison and others will help us to go further. Thank you.
Engineer Sudhakaran.
Yes.
Oh yes, your concern is there. Yeah. It is my personal experience in 2010. Similar problem came with the foreign experts or consultants working in Sri Lankan Railways, because at that time the Sri Lankan Railways wanted to test the bridges for heavy engines like S12, 120-ton engines in hill country and northern line. Okay, so the tender was given, and a lot of companies, foreign companies, applied, and some people said in cabinet, why don't you give it to Professor Ranavira and his team is there, so why don't you give it to them? They could do it with affordable cost, and the project came to us in Peradeniya. So Professor Ranavira and his team and I was working with them for testing 11 bridges. So even we could do the fatigue analysis for 11 bridges with very less cost and the high precision measurements and the outcome. So this is my experience in working with the industry. So the industry should come up with your problem and discuss with us. We can definitely help, and we can definitely take to the quality of work that is more or less equivalent to the international standards. Thank you.
Also, it is my opinion for the question asked by Engineer Sudhakaran, especially when it comes to the Industrial Advisory Board, because now we are having the Industrial Advisory Boards. So especially the meeting with the Industrial Advisory Board, we are focusing on the undergraduate program, curriculum development and all. But in the future, when we want to have our future meetings, we can add some kind of this kind of issues so that the industry can put forward their issues to us, so that we can, if it is possible, what we can do is we can incorporate that one as a, we can incorporate the industrial people for our consultancy or any analysis or any kind of studies about that problem. Or we can, if it is possible, sometimes we can even give that one as a undergraduate project problems, and supervise with the help of industry and our staff members. So in that case, we can improve the industry university relationship, as well as we can do some work which is more beneficial for the industry, as well as it is beneficial for the student, those who are involved in that project, because in the future they can easily find the job placement in the relevant industry. So therefore, what we can do is, I just suggest that we can have a meeting or any kind of collab, because rather than having a common meeting, departments, for example, every department, a civil engineering department can have a industrial members meeting or something once in a month, or even twice in a year or something, and they can have a meeting and they can discuss this kind of issues, and this can be even studied at the department level. If they can give that one as undergraduate student projects and collaborate with the industry and come up with a solution, it will be a because normally we used to have a problem of finding the practical problems for the undergraduate student projects. But if we can find out the problem like this, it can be a very good opportunity for us to cooperate with the industry. Thank you.
Thank you. Both of you. Really, I expected such feedback from you, sir. Thank you for that. Definitely, we will continue to give our issues continuously. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. If you have any questions, please ask.
Yeah, it is a good session. I think if we don't have any more question, we can wind up the session.
Excuse me, Chairman. My humble appeal to my industrial engineers. You, as Prophet Raja mentioned, you need to cross the hurdle at certain point to have some postgraduate qualifications. So please abide on that and do the research under University of Jaffna, Faculty of Engineering. That's my humble request.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, thank you. Finally, I would like to invite Engineer Kobiram, Secretary, IESL Wadakin Chapter, to present his vote of thanks.
Good morning, everyone. Panel of lecturers from University of Jaffna, all the participants. It is such an honor for me to get an opportunity to thank you all. On behalf of IESL Wadakin Chapter, I extend a warm welcome to the people in this gathering. I would like to express my gratitude to all the esteemed delegates of this webinar for their presence and contribution to make this webinar a great success. I extend my gratitude to our honorable speakers of this event to take out time from their busy schedule to grace this event. This event was very informative and all our participants were able to understand the available facilities at the faculty for their research and development. Definitely, this information will help us, our members, to take the decision during these higher studies. Also, few members requested me to share this recording since this is a valuable opportunity. Once again, I thank you all for your time and information. Next, I must thank our organizing committee, volunteers to make this webinar successfully. Especially, we thank to our IESL Wadakin Chapter Chairman and host, Engineer Vinodini. Finally, I thank to all the participants of this for their active participation. Thank you, everyone, once again for making it great success. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Thank you all for your presence.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
very much.
Thank you all.